Hello everyone and welcome back to the second episode of our Lost reaction series. I'm Alan, I'm joined by Jeremy.
Hello.
And Tom.
Hi everyone. I always do a hello.
Hello, yeah, hello. Oh, hello there, how's it going?
Top of the morning to you.
So,
Sorry,
we didn't really... Is that racist? So we didn't really touch on this last episode before we get right into it. What made you... Because we've been talking about redoing a Lost reaction series for a while.
Yes.
What made you want to do a Lost reaction series?
Because I remember thoroughly enjoying it at the time of, obviously we're going back a lot, what, 17 years?
When it started, yeah.
Yeah, 17 years ago now. So I remember it being very enjoyable, groundbreaking in terms of how it was made, presented, in terms of a TV show of that size. And also it was a show that had so much going on, so many different plots and twists and turns. I remember thinking they were brilliant at the time, but can't remember any of them. So the idea of going back and being able to watch it again, but actually not just watch it on my own and watch it on a show and discuss with...
What you're saying is you want people to tell you what's happened in it, is that what?
I think it's just... I could have watched it many times over the years, but I'd never got around to it, and this is just a perfect... opportunity to do so.
So if for some weird reason you skipped our first reaction video, we'll go and watch it. That's just weird. But yeah, just to catch you up, we watched episode 1. I have seen all of Lost all the way through twice. Jeremy, as he mentions, has seen it all the way through once.
I think towards the last 2 seasons, I think I might have missed some episodes.
Most importantly, Jeremy completely misunderstood the ending of the show. Tom has seen a couple of episodes here or there, but doesn't really remember them, and is so young that it was about 7 years old when it first came out.
And my memory is like a fish, so I can't actually remember. I remember a lot of I probably remember a lot of key plot points and characters, but outside of that,
no, like substance.
Like the first episode we watched, that if you've watched it already, then you'll know that. I pretty much remember the beach scene, and that was
it. So episode 1, we're going on to LAX Part 2, which is the second part of the premiere. When this was on TV, it was originally shown as 1 episode, but we're about to go into Part 2 right now. As Jeremy mentioned, the way that it opened was, we opened on Jack on a beach, unconscious. He wakes up, there's been a plane crash, he tries to help people. Something's in the woods, there's noises of something lurking in the woods, we don't know what. Jack and Kate and Charlie decide to go into the woods to try and find the front of the plane, because the front and the back split. They go looking for the front of the plane to try and find a transponder so they can get back in contact and try and help people, get someone to come and find them on the island. They find the pilot still alive, but worse for wear in the plane. Pilot gets grabbed by whatever is in the woods, gets killed. That's where the episode ended. So, shall we get into episode 2?
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Let's do this one. Oh, of course, they were also 1,000 miles off course.
Yeah.
Is there anything? No.
You can see where the split was. This is literally just carrying on exactly where.
What are you doing?
They say they were off course because of the turbulence. Is that what
because of
but that didn't help.
I was getting sick.
Stuff with the weather and things. They'd had to take a detour. Guy over there being pretty sus. Think he might be from the band Drive Shaft.
Definitely tweaking.
Tell you what, if he sat in front of me and behind me tapping away like that would annoy the hell out of me.
I guarantee you'd be sat near me, because I always get sat next to the arsehole. That was a bit we saw from Jack's perspective in the last episode.
I don't really get why the staff want him.
Because he's acting all sus. They might think he's dodgy, you know?
Yeah.
Not just needing a fix. We've seen how easy the plane cockpit door opens. You've got to be careful.
Yeah.
Au revoir. No. Oh. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. That can't be great after he's just taken whatever he's taken. That's got to be. That's got to be fucking terrifying.
So it's that chocolate girl.
Chocolate girl. We'll call her that from now on. That's chocolate boy.
Yeah.
Pen boy.
Yeah.
My brother, Boone. God's friggin' gift to humanity.
There you go, Boone. We got a Boone.
You know what it is?
Not yet.
baby.
I knew you were going to say that. I was waiting for it. Fun fact, she applied for the part of Kate.
Oh, she?
Yep.
죄송해요. 저 영어 못해요. 제가 영어를 못해요.
I think they do speak American or English.
American?
They're just choosing not to.
Can't remember him, but he looks like an arsehole.
Who?
That guy.
The one looking for his son?
No, the other one.
Oh, the husband.
Yeah.
It's interesting because though those episodes, as I think originally aired together, this has definitely got the setup for a beginning of an episode. Like right now, this is made for a bit to have credit roll. You know, it just has that right feel for it. So in the middle of an episode, it would have felt quite strange. Mm-hmm. Oh, we got handcuffs.
Looks like someone easily slipped out.
Oh.
It's not taking long, has it?
The eyes trick.
Yeah.
Hey! Break it up! What's going on? Look, my kid found these in the jungle. And this guy was sitting in the back row of business class the whole flight, never got up. Hands folded underneath the blanket. And for some reason...
Bit of racial profiling.
Yeah.
We're all in this together, man. Let's treat each other with a little respect.
Shut up, Bardo.
Hey. You guys found a cockpit? Any survivors?
There was one.
No. Hurley. Oh, just...
There we go. I think that's our
Yeah.
introduction to Hurley.
Said, I fought in the Gulf War.
No way. I got a buddy fought over there. He was in the 104th Airborne. Who are you, Air Force? Army?
The Republican Guard.
Opposite side, mate. I'd like to see you shoot a scene like this, Tom.
If enough people ask, we'll do it.
Do you hear that, everyone? Comment below. In that outfit.
Yeah, okay.
There is one thing we could try.
What?
See if we can get a signal from high ground.
How high?
You'd be rubbish at that. I've seen you try to walk up hills.
Yeah.
You'd be dead. Right, gone.
I stumbled a lot almost off.
We went to Yosemite once. We went on an easy trek. Jeremy almost died twice. Almost fell off a cliff into a lake.
Tripped over a tree root. I can't work this out. Part of my head is saying that he's a good guy, but then also part of my head is he's clearly an
He's a
arsehole.
dick.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna unbutton it.
What, eat that?
He's trying to get him food.
Dude, I'm starving. Yeah. I'm nowhere near that. No way, no.
So he is trying to help, right? Like he's a bit of an arse, but he is trying to do his bit to help everyone survive.
Could be poisonous.
Yeah, I'll use
Like
play.
pufferfish.
Yeah.
Could be trying. I don't know. He's just a bit of a meanie.
Tell you what, we get home, we'll get you another dog.
Better one.
Dog 3000.
Exactly. This one's gonna have rockets.
The old parent, oh, your pet's died, we'll just replace it straight away.
Yeah.
Get one that looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, if this goes 6 seasons, he's gonna run out of that stuff.
She's already a waste of resources for me. I think they should have.
I'd have taken her out and drowned her.
Yeah. They must have very good looking parents.
Yeah.
They've got a good gene pool, them too, haven't they?
Yeah.
I'm going with them. On the hike.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. I'm going.
Well,
No, you're not.
she'll be gone by the end of the episode.
I'd like to come with you.
You're thinking she's just cannon fodder.
Not going.
The hell I'm not. You're going, are you?
Yeah, leave.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely going.
Everybody.
We're leaving now.
Charlie always going. Looks like a catalogue shoot.
It does, doesn't it?
He must be the person that had the handcuffs, I reckon.
You decided to join us.
I'm a complex guy, sweetheart.
I remember loving his character as well. I can't remember. Can I remember his name? If I hear it all.
Yeah, but I could tell you it, but I'm not going to till we get to it.
Yeah.
But the quality of that shot, you can tell they've had to use different cameras for that
Yeah.
to get them up into the right locations. It's like when you can tell something's been filmed on a GoPro.
I love the music for this already. This bit here.
It's quite different to Lost. Lost
Yeah.
doesn't tend to have this.
It's more like kind of an adventure-y sort of sound, isn't it?
Lost doesn't use a lot of music. Like, it's not a massive soundtrack kind of show, so when there is a track, it stands out.
You play checkers with your pop?
No. I live in Australia with my mom. She got sick. She died a couple of weeks ago.
You're having a bad month.
I guess.
Yeah, it's not been great. Lost my dog as well.
So were they on the way to Australia? Or does it not really matter?
I'll
on
tell
the way
you,
back,
they were
maybe?
flying back
Yeah.
from Australia.
Wide open space.
What the hell's that?
Someone's coming.
Yeah, that's where you get fucking
It's coming towards us, I think.
Come on, let's move.
Looks like it. You look like a tree.
It's a tree monster. And it's Treebeard. He's come to find. He's come to find his buddy.
I never thought you'd see any of the monsters.
So put out his misery, the poor thing.
Guys, this isn't just a bear. It's a polar bear.
What's about, Tom? What's that about?
I don't know.
You sure he's out?
I always thought they were going to keep the monsters like hidden. And they just left you speculating the whole series.
Hand me those strips. Just hand me the strips. I need to get this bleeding stopped. I don't think I can. Oh, what's going on? The strips. Just hand me the strips. Give it to me. Hey, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Damn it!
At least he's holding him down, I guess.
I can't.
It's her, Tom.
Wasn't. It could still be the other guy. Maybe there was two.
I have one favor to ask.
Really? This ought to be good.
Oh, there's so many people.
Oh!
Unlucky.
Flight case to the head. There you go, look, she still helped him. Fuck me,
Mad pressure on a plane just to rip it off.
imagine that. Being sat just watching people just go. Be brown pants time, wouldn't it? Look at Hurley. Just absolutely face planting it. Oh, did you not realise that's who it was?
No, I didn't really.
That's why she had a bit of interest in him. Like, she kept asking how he was doing, and
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really see his face. But
Yeah.
I wasn't really. I was more looking at the thing lodged in his stomach.
The French! The French are coming! And they'll be so happy they're the French!
I'm alone now. I'm on the island alone. Please, someone come. The others, they're dead.
Not what you want to hear, is it?
no.
If the count is right, it's been playing over and over for 16 years.
Brilliant.
Guys,
Wow, this is where we live now.
where are we?
Bugger. There we go. Okay, right, so yes, that was part 2 of the season premiere, and there was quite a lot of stuff actually taking part in that one. There's a lot more small pieces going on than the first part of the episode.
100%.
One, that Charlie was in the toilets doing drugs.
Yes.
Two, Kate was the criminal that was with the US Marshal. And then, yes, at the end of the episode, we found out that there was a transmission already playing on the island that had been playing for 16 years and 5 months, basically saying, they're all dead, please help me, recorded in French.
It killed them all.
It killed them all.
Referring to the
Something killed them all.
So this is where I was getting confused when we were just done the reaction to episode 1, part 1.
Yeah.
Because when we said about what do you think it was in the jungle,
yeah,
I remember the polar bear.
Right.
So I remember the polar bear, but then watching it,
yeah,
I'm thinking, well, it wasn't the polar bear destroying trees and stuff,
no,
because obviously
it's not that big.
Not that big. But I remember the polar bear.
Yeah.
So that's now thrown me a little bit because I'm sure I can't remember what the big thing is. But
yeah.
Interesting. Did you see that Walt had a magazine?
Oh yes, his comic.
On page 1 of the comic was a polar bear.
Yep.
Like a scary polar bear.
Yeah, polar bear on the front of a little bit of almost.
And it was a magazine comic he found.
Yes, it was in Spanish, wasn't it?
Yeah, he said he found it in the jungle. So I don't know if that.
Yep. So is it foreshadowing? Is it somehow linked to?
I have no idea. I just obviously made that. I saw the polar bear in the comic. And I thought, I was definitely. I remember the polar bear on.
Yep. Well spotted. So I've got some notes that I've been making as we've gone on. I've listed handcuffs. Who do they belong to? Didn't actually remember that in this episode we already found out that they were Kate. So, Tom, why was Kate handcuffed? What's going on? What's she done? What do you think? Who do you think Kate is as a person? I guess I should ask. Like, do you think is she some horrendous criminal, or what do you think the situation is with her?
I don't know. Maybe it's more like a white collar crime. You know. Maybe she had a business and she was avoiding something, so she ran off to Australia.
Australia. Oh yeah, we knew they were flying. We found out they were flying back from Australia. Do you think she's a good person? Do you think she's pretending? What do you think the situation is with her?
I'm gonna say, I think she's pretty bad, but she's acting pretty good right now.
Okay, you think she's kind of faking it, playing it up. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you probably remember some details about.
I can't remember what the crime was or anything like that.
Right. Okay.
I know her as.
You know her as a character.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Boone and Chocolate Girl? What do you think of those guys?
Not much. They're almost like a couple of American college students.
Well, you were pretty sure she was going to die in the jungle, weren't you? As soon as they went off, you were like, she's dead.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, she just looked like she was going to die.
Yeah.
We don't even know her name.
But it's very handy she spoke French. So
yeah, exactly, yeah. She had to be there for the French speaking. Yeah. Well, she spent a year in Paris. How about the Korean couple? What do we think of them? You say you don't really remember much about them, right?
Yeah, I'm struggling with these two because I've got some images in my head remembering a backstory of the wife.
Yeah.
And liking her character.
Yep.
Part of me is also thinking the husband is a really good guy in the series, and part of that is obviously getting food for everyone, which you saw.
Yeah.
But I can't remember him being such an asshole to his wife.
He's very old-fashioned, traditional, annoyed with her when she unbuttons one button of her collar.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was getting a bit confused about, because I've got this image and memory of him being quite a good character in the film, in terms of being a good guy.
Yeah.
And then how he's acting with his wife, I was sort of thinking.
Well, you almost kind of saw a bit of a shock there from his wife when she saw Kate just like in her underwear, basically, like in the water, you know, because he flipped out about one button being undone on her collar. And as I mentioned to the guys earlier, that actually the Korean wife, the actress, actually originally auditioned for the part of Kate in the series. So you think they speak English? You said.
Yeah, I mean, but then thinking about it. It goes two ways. Like, I think they might be able to speak English, but obviously Australia is in the same continent as like the Asian countries, so maybe they had a connection flight or something to Australia, and then they're off to like America. Yeah.
Okay. So, here's a question for you then. What about the relationship between the father and son? What do you think's going on there?
Well, it's a bit odd, isn't it? Because obviously the kid lived with his mum. They'd moved to Australia.
Yeah. obviously we saw a few times there, basically kind of pointing out that the dad doesn't really know his son.
Yeah,
he didn't know how old he was.
Distant, yeah.
He misunderstood he got his age wrong. He was asking him if he could speak Spanish, if he liked comics. So you can kind of see that he doesn't know. He's obviously not that close to his son. Maybe he's a bit of an absentee father.
But I think he definitely cares for his son. I think he loves him, but he just doesn't know too much about him. Yeah.
Also, his son Walt is out looking for Vincent the dog, and his dad's like, we'll get you another one when we get back to the States. Kind of being very misunderstanding of, you don't just reply, it's not as easy as just, we'll get you a new dog.
Then there was Walt chatting to Bald Guy.
Bald Guy on the beach, yeah.
And what's his secret? He was going to tell him a secret, but he didn't follow up on that.
Yeah, I still find that interesting. Like, I mean, he probably did introduce himself, but I probably missed it. But if he didn't, it's weird how the older guy knew the kid's name. But he might have introduced himself, I just didn't notice it.
So one thing I will mention about that, their whole little chat there's a lot of foreshadowing in that conversation for stuff to come in Lost. Like, there's that little chat there is an interesting conversation when you know the greater picture of Lost. It's an interesting...
To do with light and dark, I guess, because like whenever that monster, the big monster's around, it goes dark. So it's...
Yeah, he talks about one being the light, one being the dark, that side of things.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So there's some interesting stuff in there to reference back to when you know the bigger picture. I don't want to say too much about it because obviously it's it's not something you would know about. Yeah. What about Hurley? Who do we think Hurley is? What do we think the deal is with that guy?
I don't think we know a lot about him yet, do we? Just know comes across as a nice guy.
He's kind of the comic relief of the show at the moment.
So far, yeah. I think him fainting and
him passing out whilst trying to help Jack.
It was a real comical passing out as well. It wasn't a. It was a very slow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we won't go into all of the bits, but one thing that obviously we've got to chat about is the polar bear on the island.
Yes.
What the hell's going on with the polar bear? What is a polar bear? And this was one of those big mystery points when the show first came out. It was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, in that climate, jungle.
Yeah. It was another one of these things that pointed to the show being more than you might have thought it was, especially when you combine it with things like Walt's comic with a polar bear on it and those little details.
Yeah, it's weird, like, because obviously I said after the first episode, like, there was no animals. First animal we see apart from the dog was a polar bear.
Yeah. So a pretty big animal.
I was also wondering about the end where they had the transmission that would be going for like 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
Makes me think, like, is there some sort of almost like a cult people that think they need to sacrifice people on this island every set amount of years, 15 years.
Okay.
And so the plane crash was manufactured.
I was about to say, so you think they made the plane crash happen in some way to get more people onto the island?
You think it's a bit like Predator, and every amount of years they've got to go and have like a...
they've got to have something like that. Okay, that's cool. Or Cabin in the Woods, where that's the big one for like every year they have to sacrifice people. That's an interesting take. Like, it's good. And this is what Lost did when it first came out. It got people talking, throwing around ideas for these strange things. As we say, I know that throughout Lost there are stories that go unanswered, but when you really look into it, there's a lot of people who go, they didn't answer that. And it's like, no, but if you actually did turn your brain on for more than 2 seconds, like, yes, by the end of Lost, it does not spell out everything. I'll tell you that right now. It doesn't spell everything out. But if you turn your brain on, you can actually figure out most of the things. There's the odd little bit, but they're not gonna handhold and give you every little piece of information. That's kind of everything that I wrote down. How about you, Jez? Did you write anything else down?
We've covered it all. Yeah, it was just we've covered everything. Yep. Covered everything that I'd written down. So.
Anything you think about the guy with the gun? He was sat there reading his letter when we first saw him, and then anything. You got any feelings about him right now? Who he might be, or is he still too thin on details for you?
Yeah, I think so. I don't. Yeah, like I would have guessed if him and Charlie didn't go away together would have guessed maybe they knew each other in some sort of way.
Yeah.
But no, nothing yet.
Any characters for you so far who you've got a particular like
bond with, maybe?
Bond affinity to, like anyone who you're particularly like you're looking forward to learning more about, like over other characters?
I guess Charlie.
Yeah.
Because he's quite.
We know he was in a band. We know he was in a band that were well known, but maybe a one-hit wonder type band, because he was very much going.
It's the same song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kept saying quoting that one song, and obviously Kate said, "Oh yeah, you guys were good," and he's like, "No, we are good."
He's like, "Yeah, we were on the comeback as well." Or something.
Yeah.
He said that last episode.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, bit of a one-hit. So you're interested in learning more about Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the plane staff thought anything apart from he was on drugs. Like,
yeah,
I don't think he was any sort of criminal they were looking for.
No, he's just.
I am interested more about him.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of funny.
How about you, Jez? Is there any I mean, obviously, I know you've seen it through. Any favourite characters, like people who you're interested in remembering information about? You mentioned the fact that you remember being a fan of Bald Guy.
My memories of the show, the characters I enjoyed the most were Bald Guy, the guy with the gun.
Yeah.
He was one of my favourites. I was never that attached to Jack and Kate.
No,
throughout the show, I was never really attached to Jack and Kate.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see watching it through properly and probably paying more attention this time to see if my views on people change.
Yeah. No, I think two of my favourite characters are exactly the same as you. Yeah. And no, I'm with you on Jack and Kate kind of always being involved in things, but never being like the characters I was that interested in.
Yeah.
I think, now you said it, the Bald Guy as well. Like,
yeah.
I want to know more about him because, like I said, I think he knows. But after last episode and then this one where he's kind of explaining the light and dark stuff, I think he knows something. He's
definitely got something to him that we don't know about yet. Yeah. Oh, and of course, we had a little fun moment as well about Saeed and Hurley, where they were talking about. We found out that Saeed was in the army, and Hurley was like, "Oh, my friend was in the so and so division. What were you in?" And Saeed said Royal Guard. Yeah. So it was like, "Oh, okay, shit." He was on he was in the Iraqi army.
Yeah.
But actually, this was actually a big thing at the time. I remember, and it's quite funny now because you wouldn't give it so much thought nowadays. But at the time, the fact that one of the main cast was this like Iraqi guy was quite a like. kind of thing back in 2004. It's quite.
And I think after 9/11, that's probably why some of the racial profiling was, and not fair on Saeed, obviously. But,
no. And he wasn't some villain like when you'd watch say 24 and it'd be like, oh look, there's some Islamic people. Yeah. Oh, they're terrorists. This is just another guy on the island with them. Just happens to So and there is a bit of diversity in characters. Obviously, we're still looking primarily white characters, but there is a bit of a mix there of different people from different backgrounds, a little bit of people that are actually subtitled for the Korean people. They're not just instantly speaking we just happen to know English. So which adds a little bit more of a split between the group, because you've got people that already don't understand each other.
Yeah, it's interesting.
How are you finding it so far? We're only 2 episodes in. Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like it was always something I wanted to watch, so I'm glad we finally got around to it. So I'm just I got a lot of thoughts that I keep thinking about.
Come on, what else you got? What else you got for us, Tom? Give us some more of your thoughts. Share them with the people. Share them with me, so inside I can go, he's just spot on, or inside I can think, he's a fucking idiot. And the people at home can think the same.
Well, for a second, when the polar bear was there,
I
don't think there's going to be a second polar bear, but I mean there could be. I was always thinking sort of like a Noah's Ark thing. You got the 2 Asian characters.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Carry on.
Wait. Whoa.
But then the rest are all Americans.
No, hang on. There's no way we're breezing over that. We've got 2 polar bears and we've got 2 Asian characters.
And then
I don't remember
the brother and sister characters.
I do not remember Noah rounding up Asians.
No, I was just meant pairs of things that are the same. I didn't mean like animals. You've ruined what I said now.
Jeremy's had to leave. Jeremy's had to leave. Jeremy's had to walk away from this.
Maybe I shouldn't have started with the polar
You
bear.
know, when I said, is Tom going to say something? I go, oh, Tom's right. Or am I going to go, Tom's a fucking idiot? I think it's fair to say where we're sitting on that one.
Just you wait.
So you're wondering if it's a Noah's Ark type situation.
Where people have been paired up for a reason.
Okay, where they're rounding up polar bears and Korean people.
Sorry.
No. I shouldn't have started with the polar bears.
No, I think you're fine with the polar bears. I think it was...
The polar bear bit was fine, mate. That was the least of the worries. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, everybody, thanks for watching. That's mental. That might be the most mental thing you've ever said. If you think that's the most...
Please subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe. Tom's weird racial profiling does not apply to all of us. No, if you've enjoyed the episode, please remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave us some trivia below. Please, no spoilers. Tom has never seen the show. Jeremy does not remember the show. But if you've got any fun trivia, or if you've got any... you know what, if you want to just put some lies in about stuff to really confuse Tom, that'd be great too. That'd be quite fun. So drop some comments in that just tell him lies about the series. Remember, if you have enjoyed this, head over to allmaverick.com where you can check out our videos, our blogs, our podcasts on all host of subjects, TV, film, games, board games. And yeah, hope you'll come back and join us for episode 3, which is called Tabula Rasa, which is season 1, episode 3.
Nice.
And we will see you soon for that. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you next time.
See you next time.